All right, what's up everybody? So put out a video talking about what the support hand's job on the pistol is while you are shooting it. And I feel like the reoccurring question or reoccurring theme with this, I get it. The support hand is just, its job is just to connect to the frame, do the lion's share of the work in regards to how the gun is returning and how it's behaving on the target. However, how the hell do I know if I'm doing this appropriately? I agree. This can be difficult, right? And so good news and bad news is, the good news is there's plenty of drills that you can do that will help you become more aware of this. And I would put these specific drills like bill drills and doubles, marksmanship style drills, I would put these type of drills in the category of awareness drills. And I would say that because it's not like we're trying to get a specific time. We're not trying to get specific hits. We're trying to just shoot and then basically observe what happens. Observe what happens to our vision, like what is our eyes doing? What is our grip doing? What does it feel like it's doing? What does it look like it's doing? You know, all of those things. And then when we're done, go down, take a look at the target and take a look at all of the whatever trend is on the target, whether it's good or bad. And then this should give us a little bit more clear of an idea in regards to, you know, what is going good and what isn't going good and what do we need to fix. Some really common trends might be low left. So maybe the first round goes exactly where you're looking and then the subsequent rounds start tracking low left. This would definitely be a symptom of you basically doing this on the gun. Like maybe the first one goes where you want it to and then the firing hand starts tightening up and then the rest of them start tracking to low left. Another really common thing that we'll see is basically a seatbelt style pattern on the target where you'll see bullets in, at least for righties anyway, in the high right shoulder and then tracking down low left. And that, in my opinion, is a symptom of someone that is definitely staring at the dot and someone that is shoving on the gun. And since they're staring at the dot and they lose where they are trying to return it on the target visually, they no longer have a specific spot. They kind of just blow by the spot, and then this hand starts doing way more in terms of trying to help the gun come back down. So, you know, what would a good trend be? You know, I think like basically centered around the spot that you're looking or concentric around the spot that you're looking. So that's the good news. There are really good drills, really good awareness drills for you guys to take a look at to figure out, you know, hey, am I doing this good or not? Now, the bad news is this is not easy, right? And I say that because this is something that you guys will probably always continue to be aware of, right? You'll continue to be aware of it because you're going to want to make this better and better and better, your grip, right? You want that grip to be better and better and better. And this is something where it's like kind of a journey without an end, right? Like this is not something that you will go out and shoot maybe, I don't know, 1,000 rounds and go like, yes, I have this figured out, right? I don't think you'll ever have this completely figured out because I think what people will find is like you'll get to a certain spot and you'll be like, yes, this is good. Like you'll start saying like in your head or seeing things like good trends on the target. And you're like, okay, this is getting easier and easier. And then what you'll notice is like, okay, let me just pick up the speed a little bit and shoot like the shooter that I want to be. And then things kind of fall apart all over again, right? And then you'll have to think about like, okay, that grip worked going this speed, but if it doesn't work going all speeds, was that the grip that I should be looking for, right? Was my support hand doing its thing? Was my firing hand doing its thing? And, you know, if the answer is like, well, I can only shoot at a specific speed, otherwise my grip starts doing different stuff, it's like, well, that's probably not how you would want to attach to the gun. So I wanted to give you guys a couple examples here. And I just, you know, I'll show you guys a target. Like I have an open target sitting right here with a visual paster on it or a visual marker on it. And that visual marker I think is kind of important because that is what you would want to stare at the entire time. Like it's going to make it a little bit easier for you guys to look at the target. And then what I want you guys to do is just basically draw the gun and then fire 6 fire 6 into the target, right? And then go down, take a look at the hits, and then start looking at trends. So I'll shoot this a couple times for you guys, and I'll try to show you too, like, where things start to fall off for me specifically. Now, we will definitely see some things fall off for me specifically because I've got my Kimber 2K11. Nothing wrong with the gun at all, but I'm still learning this thing, and it definitely recoils a little bit differently than what I'm used to, which is my polymer frame PDP. And so I wanted to use this gun for the demo because I feel like you guys will see me mess up probably a little bit sooner than you would if I was shooting the polymer frame PDP. So again, nothing wrong with the gun. It's just like me, I am not completely used to this thing just yet. I'm used to shooting PDPs. So I'll shoot this a couple times and then try to talk my way through this in regards to maybe like what you should be looking for and such, how things felt, and hopefully show you guys where it falls off for me, because I think it will fall off for basically anyone at a certain point, at a certain pace. Grip, that is. Get in the square, Nick. All right. Okay. So we'll go ahead and load the gun. Okay. So I'd be willing to bet that like a very clean bill drill for me, just at 5 yards, is probably going to be somewhere around 1.9 with this gun, right? Not because of the splits being slow, but because of the draw with this particular gun probably isn't going to be as fast for me as like the PDP. So we'll go ahead and take a look. All right, that was a 188. Grip definitely kind of fell apart there in the beginning, or actually like the third round. And again, this is why we call this stuff awareness drills. I'm gonna have to walk down there, aren't I? Okay. Now, this is why we call these awareness drills, and this is why we're not looking for very specific times, right? Now, this is kind of where my dot landed, right? Everything tracking here, and then I want to say it was like the third or fourth round, dot climbed high, and that was just essentially the support hand leaving the exercise. Therefore, the gun really didn't want to return like the other ones were. And now you could see like the other ones, like the rest of the 5, I could cover up with my fist. 3 of them are in the same hole, right? So like not horrible. Yes, they're all alphas, but I'm looking for more than just all alphas here. So we'll shoot this again. Set up my camera since I'm a lone cameraman here. Okay. Do it again. Just out of curiosity, what was the draw? 92. Yeah, that's pretty slow for me on a 5-yard target. That should be like 75 or something like that, especially with the scoop draw. Yeah, all right. See what we can do here. There we go. Now, that was 179, all in the size of a fist, okay? Draw was at 82, so that got a little bit faster. 21, 17, 21, 19, 19. So pretty damn consistent. The other things that I look at, and this is maybe me being like a massive shooting nerd, but like I'll look at these splits. The more consistent the splits are, the more I feel like, okay, my grip is good. Like my grip is very consistent, right? And the less consistent the splits are, the more I get the feeling of like my hands are tightening up, and that's why this finger is doing something different each time. So go ahead and try it again. All right, so we'll shoot that one more time at that specific pace. And I want to do this to where it's like, I want to know like what is my consistent pace where everything is just in the size of a, baseball or a softball on the target. Again, I'm not looking for just alphas. I'm looking for tight group on the target as fast as I possibly can. So we'll try to get that 179. Okay, 177, same exact thing. It's like 3 of the rounds are basically touching here. All right, now 177, I know I could do this consistently over and over and over again. Maybe I'll mess up once, but I feel like if you gave me 10 times to try this, I would shoot that around the exact same time every single time. Again, maybe I'll mess up one time, but 9 out of 10 times, I'm going to do it at that pace. Now, if that's you and you're like, yep, I found my consistent pace, I think the answer is, you know, you should speed up to see where things start to fall off. And like you're trying to do this to become more aware of why things are falling off. So I think that's a good idea to pick up the pace just in regards to, you know, seeing where things start to fall off for your grip. So I'm going to try to draw the gun a little bit more aggressively. That was an 80 draw, which getting a little bit faster with the 2011. But let's try it. Okay, that was a 166. Now, 2 of those tracked low, right? 4 of them were basically in the fist size group, and then 2 are at the bottom of the alpha. And that's just me, like that's this hand, exactly like we talked about. That's this hand clamping up and starting to drive down on the gun. And I'll show you guys on the target kind of exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. These 2 on the bottom, that's from that run. And that's just me going like, okay, I'm gonna try to go faster than what I've been doing. All right. And I think that's kind of what you guys will see too. And this, as soon as you pick up the pace, things could possibly start to fall apart. All right, so hopefully that gave you guys a clear idea in terms of, you know, what to look for when you're out, you know, training your grip. Again, this is one of those things that I don't think this stuff ever stops being trained. Every time I go out and shoot, it's not like I'm specifically doing things to, you know, focus on grip. However, it is something that I am constantly aware of. This is not something that, I never go out and shoot and I'm like, no, I wasn't aware of my grip. Like, I am always aware of my grip. So hopefully that, you know, gave you guys a little bit more clear idea of, you know, how to go out and train it and how to know if your support hand is doing the correct thing and if your firing hand is doing the correct thing. At the end here, I will just roll in some slow-mo footage of me shooting some doubles, and I'll annotate in some notes here at the bottom of the screen. Basically, you know, is this good, bad, and then what you're seeing and why what you're seeing is happening. In other words, a really common thing would be the gun to lift, and then upon return, it basically bounces like this. Like that would be way, way too much firing hand tension, and you'll see the gun lift and then kind of bounce. You know, that is someone that has a ton of firing hand tension, and maybe they do because they're trying to make the gun flat, so to speak. But it's like, if your gun is flat yet returning low left, it's like, it's kind of a fool's errand, right? You should be looking at like how the gun returns. It needs to return precisely and predictably. I don't necessarily look to like, hey, let me make this gun flat. So again, I'll just put some slow-mo footage of, you know, good and bad. I'll shoot some doubles or something like that. And yeah, hopefully that will, you know, round out a video for you guys in terms of showing you, you know, what to look for, what's good and bad. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns in the comment box below.